Welcome, Climate Viewers. This is Jim Lee from ClimateViewer News at ClimateViewer.com. And it is a Tuesday news day, and we're going to get into all of the weather modification news for the week. I hope that you guys will check out the links. I'm going to try to drop those in chat. Let me go ahead and open the chat up on the sidebar. I'll be spamming those in as we get to them. Let me pull this up real quick, and away we go. So it's been a busy news week, and I'm going to be doing these videos pretty much every Tuesday, and we're gonna have Throwback Thursday where we go over some weather modification history. And if you didn't check it out on Sunday, there is the Sunday news chat, radio Sunday chat. It's going to be at 3 p.m. on Sunday. I hope that you guys will tune into that. Had a great conversation with a caller named Spencer. Check that out. It's on my YouTube channel right now. And like I said, we're going to plan on doing this 3 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, every Sunday. So get your questions together. Be prepared to call in. The number will be on the screen. And, you can talk to me and ask me anything. And it doesn't have to be weather related. It could be about just about anything. That being said, let's get to the news. All right. So let's go ahead and bring chat up on the side. Welcome in, chat. William, Don, Bold as Lion, Denise, Marky, thank you all for tuning in. So cloud seeding operations begin in the skies over Saudi Arabia. What are they going to do with all that oil money they have? Well, they're going to, do some freaking weather modification because they are in a desert. So no surprise there. This has been a long time coming. Pretty big in the United Arab Emirates, and spreading to Saudi Arabia now, which of course has prompted some problems because rain and sandstorm in northern Saudi Arabia sparked pray at home requests from mosques because suddenly the weather's really bad and it's raining really hard. And Saudi man dies after being swept away by floods before iftar. Well, that went downhill very quickly, to say the least. United Arab Emirates weather, rain, lightning, and thunder, and cloud seeding in parts of Dubai early on Thursday. Like I said, this has been going on quite a while. They have the UAE Rainfall Enhancement Program, UAE REP. It's been going on for a couple years now where they're bidding, all over the world to bring in cloud seeding, cloud ionization. And there are some major companies in the area, Weather Tech and, different, Magnetic Technologies LLC, Climate Control Global Trading LLC, that are claiming to steer weather with ionospheric heating, among other things, but mainly like cloud seeding and spraying electrified water, all that stuff. Next up on the board, over here, Blue Mesa expected to reach only 50% capacity this week. And you can see that the Upper Gunnison River Valley Water Conservancy District says, they're concerned about, the water behind the dam. So most of those events occurred in December, and cloud seeding events were running concurrently. No surprise there. Always been a lot of cloud seeding on the West Coast. Always will be, has been since 1949. When Irving P. Crick invented the ground-based cloud seeding generator. Kind of mentioned this last week. Many more articles have come out since covering it. Tinkering with Earth's thermostat at the cost of human lives. Geoengineering could return risk of malaria for 1 billion people. Interestingengineering.com. And then also on Anthropocene magazine, dimming the sun could expose 1 billion more people to malaria, because as you block the sun, you actually encourage the growth of mosquitoes, which spread malaria. Just another thing to add on top of the list of things to be concerned about geoengineering. That's why I say ban geoengineering. Research, outdoor experimentation, all of it. Ban all the things geoengineering related. It's a bad idea, period. Our Itam Dam alert prompts cloud seeding operations. This is in Malaysia. And the Penang Water Supply Corporation plans on doing, there will be a series of 15 cloud seeding operations to induce rainfall and water catchment area of our Itam Dam between this month and August. The operations endorsed by the state government will be carried out by the state water regulatory body with the assistance of PBAPP, which is the Penang Water Supply Corporation. So yeah, coming to Malaysia all summer long, cloud seeding, because it works. And, you know, we got to get that water. Cloud seeding projects approved for region of New Mexico. On Thursday, the New Mexico Interstate Stream Commission approved a weather control license for seeding operations and atmospheric research LLC of San Angelo, Texas, for a program to begin this Sunday. And, you know, this is a Texas-based company. They've, always, been doing it in Texas, but apparently they're willing to help out their neighbors for the right price. And they are basically, as far as I can tell, a former U.S. Navy pilot named Gary Walker and Jonathan Jennings, a licensed meteorologist, who have been working with the West Texas Weather Modification Association since 2011 and the Trans-Pecos Weather Modification Association since 2013. So yeah, Navy pilot and meteorologist formed company called the Seeding and Operations and Atmospheric Research LLC, or just-clouds.com. You can check them out there. Gonna help out New Mexico because rain, because money. Climate change. How India and China can work together on geoengineering governance framework. With both countries looking for ways to cut down on carbon emissions, they can come together to develop a mechanism to conduct research and development in the geoengineering field. Now, let me know in the comments, who thinks this is a good idea? That India and China should work on governing geoengineering and doing experiments because they're so, the world's biggest polluters. And it's widely known that this is not just like going to affect only India and China. It's going to infect Freudian slip there, the entire world. Geoengineering is not a local thing. It is a worldwide thing. No country, let alone no man, should be allowed to geoengineer, period, point blank, end of story. Which brings us to Geoengineering Monitor, run by the ETC group. Geoengineeringmonitor.org. If you have not checked them out, I highly suggest you do. I support their work. And ETC group, Geoengineering Monitor, the only activist / NGO to ever have stopped not one but two geoengineering outdoor experiments. The SPICE project, stratospheric particle injection for climate engineering in the UK, and ScopeX, which is David Keith / Bill Gates geoengineering program that they attempted in Arizona and Sweden. Failed both times. Thank you, ETC Group and Geoengineering Monitor. But Geoengineering Monitor Quarterly Review Part 1. Can't wait to read Part 2. Weather Modification, Current Developments, and Lessons Learned After 70 Years of Deployment. Great read here. You got to check it out. Current developments, weather modifications, lessons learned after 70 years. And there are many lessons there that basically it sucks and it's unpredictable and we have no idea what we're doing. There's currently no international body that regulates weather modification activities. I think that pretty much sums it up. Legislature funds more cloud seeding in Wind River Mountains. Right here, an ongoing clouds, and that's a ground-based cloud seeding generator. For those who don't know what these are, they've never seen them. Big propane tank, mixing tank for chemicals, usually silver iodide, acetone, a couple other chemicals. Solar panel to basically get the cell phone connection so they can remotely operate it. And up here at the top, a burner head, which burns chemicals that then travel over the mountains, which then create artificial snow, and that's called snowpack augmentation. Bitcoin anarchist, love you, Jim, watching from Australia. You're going to get to Australia in just a second. Lots of requests for people, for me to cover what's going on in Australia. Going to get to that in just a minute. And then just one of those weird ones that you find. The Jerusalem Post, and speaking of clouds, the Israel Water Authority and the Mekorod announced in February that they've stopped cloud seeding begun in the 1950s due to the high level of the Kinneret, and that's actually the Sea of Galilee. So they're actually going, well, the Sea of Galilee is so full, we're just not going to do cloud seeding, even though we've been doing it for 50 years. And I found this interestingly enough on 75 Reasons I Love Israel in no particular order, from the Jerusalem Post. It was just buried in there. Funny what you can find out with the proper internet sorting. The Rand Corporation. I say that, and most people are probably throwing up in their mouth a little bit. The risks of geoengineering. Now, you can be guaranteed, I haven't actually watched this video. I might watch it, but it's available on YouTube. Earth goes to the doctor. Is geoengineering right for her? I'm not going to watch the video, but I'm going to give you the answer. The answer is no. The answer is no. It's dangerous. It will kill people. We covered that in last week's Tuesday Newsday. So check that video out, and you'll know all about it. Anyway, Rand Corporation, always up to good things and thinking of wonderful ways to help all the people, especially the rich people. Would engineering new species help fight climate change? So now we see the collection, the coming together of two different categories I hate: geoengineering and synbio, SYNBIO, synthetic biology. The idea that you could engineer biological organisms to basically do carbon sequestration, to engineer phytoplankton to suck up more CO2. So synthetic biology for geoengineering purposes, for climate engineering purposes, for climate intervention purposes. Good idea? No. Then over here on Brighteon.com, I saw this one, and it's a throwback to Operation Skywater. I saw this and I was like, well, it's interesting that he has this book. I'd love to have a copy of this book, but he covers, what's in the book. And the title of it is International Weather Wars, 29 April 2022. Snowpack, Cloud Seeding, and the Colorado River, 1974. And that's the title of the book. And he goes over winter orographic snowpack augmentation in the upper Colorado River Basin. I have a great video on my YouTube channel about that as well. That was from the time called Operation Skywater. And a lengthy, detailed post on weathermodificationhistory.com about this topic. But I thought that was an interesting video, just recently reviewed. Only 30 views. Everybody go give a sub on Brighteon to anti-weather modification. I already like you, bro. I already like you. That being said, and this one was everywhere. Like, everybody and their brother has mirrored this video. Max Egan, Smart Cities, Weather Modification, Transhumanism, Australia, and the NWO. Damn, they packed it into that one. Max Egan, really smart guy. Check it out. It's all over BitChute. I mean, type in Max Egan and this title, and you're going to see all of the things. Because there are many copies of this floating around there. Into the nerd world. Application of machine learning, deep learning, and optimization algorithms in geoengineering and geoscience. Comprehensive review and future challenges. Now, this is about using AI. Highlights common artificial intelligence algorithms in geoscience and geoengineering introduced. What can be learned from application of AI algorithms summarized. Work ongoing and future recommendations provided. The so-called fourth paradigm has been boomingly developed during the past 2 decades, in which large quantities of observational data are available to scientists and engineers. But, because we have so much data, we can't really understand it. And maybe if we introduce some really smart artificial intelligence computers, we can then understand it all. In the comments, hijacked. Explain yourself. Explain yourself. I hope you're not talking about my logo, bro. We've been over this. Almost $500,000 in flood relief frozen in bank accounts in conspiracy theorist scandal. Shout out to Australia. So, Aussie Helping Hands apparently is embroiled in a big scandal because they raised money for flood victims, and there's a whole lot else going on to the story beyond that. But they were raising money by saying, hey, the Australian government is cloud seeding, and that is causing the floods that's going on in Australia. So, of course, the country, being very open, call them conspiracy theorists multiple times throughout this article. This is on watoday.com.au. And AI. Thank you for the clarification, guys. Gotcha. Makes sense. Thought you were talking about my logo again. I'm like, bro, I'm not the Illuminati. This beautiful double wide trailer was not provided by the Illuminati. I can promise you that. I would have certainly asked for more, but I could not possibly ask for more because I am one of the luckiest men on the earth. My wife of 23 years, my 2 beautiful daughters, and my freedom and liberty to live in the greatest country on earth. And the ability to still speak is pretty freaking priceless. Which brings us to the mainstream news. 9 News in Sydney says rain bomb warnings. Rain bomb warnings. Residents in flood-ravaged communities across New South Wales are being warned to stay vigilant, with state tipped to face a week-long drenching. This was March 23rd. The Bureau of Meteorology warned of persistent showers and storms from today anywhere north of Wollongong towards Sydney and the Northern Rivers. Rain activity is expected to increase Thursday, with heavy rain occurring over recovering flood zones in the northeastern New South Wales by Friday. And of course, this being Facebook, wouldn't you know, the chat immediately blew up and went ham on them. Geoengineering at its best. It's not natural. Pretty hilarious. Like they gave him a good shellacking. There's 133 comments here, and knew this was coming, spraying us like flies the last couple of days. Is anyone really surprised anymore? This government's failed to act on climate and ecological emergency, and this is the result. They have blood on their hands. So ranging from it's geoengineering, it's weather modification. The weather is obviously the government's fault, as were the ice ages and the earth went through millions of years ago. I mean, it's just trolly AF. Pretty funny. I got a kick out of that one. Chernobyl critical design flaw, too sensitive to be made widely known. Chernobyl nuclear power plant had a critical design flaw that was too sensitive to be widely known, a new documentary reveals. But interestingly enough, here in the video, it says Chernobyl expert explains how Russia used cloud seeding. Now this is on weathermodificationhistory.com. Much more details than you're going to get out of this video, but it's interesting to see it in the news. This is May 1st, 2022. And of course they've got an expert here named Dr. Alan Flowers, radiation expert, who was talking about how Russia basically did not want this plume of fallout to reach Moscow. So they deployed military planes to do cloud seeding, which, eventually dumped all of that radiation on Belarus. So they were able to basically dry out the clouds to get all of that rain to fall prematurely on Belarus, not Moscow. Belarusians, screw you. We got to save Moscow because that's where all the oligarchs and all, are. And, there's way more people in Moscow than where you are. So, poo on you, enjoy the radiation. And that's, the rest of the story. And if you really want to know the rest of the story, come over to weathermodificationhistory.com and look up Chernobyl and the cloud seeding that happened there. Yale Environment 360. Can cloud seeding help quench the thirst of the U.S. West? In the midst of a historic mega drought, states in the American West are embracing cloud seeding to increase snow and rainfall. Recent research suggests that the decades-old approach can be effective, though questions remain about how much water it can wring from the sky. Answer: not much. At the end of the day, they don't really understand what the proper mixture of water vapor in the sky to cloud condensation, nuclei, the actual chemicals they're putting into the sky. If you put too many particles in the sky, you can actually shut rain off. If there's an abundance of water vapor in the sky, and then you go and you put all these cloud seeding, particles in the sky, you can cause biblical flooding, let alone baseball size hail and all the like. So every time someone is cloud seeding, They are gambling with the weather. They are making promises to the shareholders, the people, these water districts, the people that we just mentioned, from Malaysia to Saudi Arabia, the United Emirates. Hey, we can make it rain and we can get you water for this price. However, what they're not telling them is we have no clue what's actually going to happen. And that's always been the case. I mean, you go back to the 10s, 20s. People have always been throwing money at this, saying, hey, we're going to make it rain. And they're either run out of town with shotguns and pitchforks, or they made floods like Hatfield did in San Diego. Charles Mallory Hatfield. Great story there if you've never heard it. Or just listen to the Widespread Panic song, Hatfield. It'll pretty much give you the short version of it. It's pretty hilarious. And sad at the same time. I mean, it's sad. I tend to laugh at these things because otherwise it'd be very depressing. But that being said, let's get back over here. So last up, we've got two more. Geoengineering supporters plan to set up a new climate overshoot commission. May 2nd, 2022. And, basically in May 2022, a new global commission will be launched to discuss and potentially devise a governance regime for solar geoengineering. This article provides background, context, and critical assessment to inform public debate about the impact of this new group, which might seek to expand and maintain solar geoengineering as a legitimate response to the climate crisis. Dimming the sun. And what are those? Unelected and unaccountable. They're not elected by you. They're a group of elitists, technocrat, globalists, and they're going to be writing the laws to, determine what happens with geoengineering. Not representative. They're not your representatives. They don't represent your best interest. Elite and undemocratic. Says it all. Created by geoengineering advocates. People lobbying for geoengineering. So, the list goes on. Independent from the multilateral process, not involved with the United Nations. They're not involved with any of the other groups that want to be able to control the laws. This is literally being created by people who, are damned and determined to geoengineer. And they talk about a way forward with all the references at the bottom. Like I said, if you haven't already subscribed to the ETC Group's newsletter on geoengineeringmonitor.org, you need to, because these are a group of a tax-free NGO that is fighting to stop geoengineering and has won twice in the past, and I continue to see them winning. In fact, they're the only people that ever have. So that's why I put my trust in them. Despite some of our differences, they are fighting geoengineering and synthetic biology, from GMO salmon to, obviously the next thing will be engineering, biology to stop climate change. Boy, that's a tie-in between the two things that they hate the most. And then ocean-based solutions for climate crisis. Dr. Lennart Bach, a marine biogeochemist. I think you're giving yourself too much credit there, bruh. But anyway, he's an ARC Future Fellow for Climate Intervention at the Institute for Marine and Antarctic Studies and the University of Tasmania. And he goes into all of his things there. And you could listen to the episode by clicking the button right there. 49 minutes of, a guy who thinks he knows how to solve the ocean-based climate intervention strategies. I think you probably should shut up. That's just my personal opinion. Can we get a shut up in the chat in the comments? So guys, originally I was trying to plan to do a video Monday through Thursday and do the live chat on Sunday. Here's the problem. I got 2 kids. They're about to be out of school. I think their last day of school is like this month on the 27th. And I'm working on a studio that's not in this living room. And I would like to be able to make more content, but I've got to get the studio done. I'm working on new merch. I've got, I think, 6 different graphics that I need to get finished and up onto the merch site. I'm working on ClimateViewer.com, redoing the entire damn thing. I was trying to do Worldwide Wednesdays with the map. Clearly, the map needs updating at climateviewer.org/3D. So I'm going to need to go through that with a fine-tooth comb before I can really start to break down the live weather and live updates, because it's been, maybe 2 years since I last updated it. And, the government's constantly changing their links and stuff. So I was on the live stream bringing up the NASA satellite feeds and they weren't loading properly. So I'm going to need to go in there and do some serious coding and debug what the hell is going on. I'd like to get that website moved to a SSL certificate so it is secured. So I'm going to be moving climateviewer.org over to maps.climateviewer.com, updating climateviewer.com, building a studio, doing a whole bunch of yard work, and, revamping this whole thing, because I don't want to be just streaming to YouTube. I want to be streaming to, DLive, Rockfin, a couple other places simultaneously. So build studio, connect to all the things, live stream to multiple locations, do it Monday through Thursday, and then a live show on Sunday. I hope that you guys will all tune in on this Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern. That should be noon on the Pacific coast. And then, so in the meantime, I'm going to be working on just doing Tuesday Newsday and Throwback Thursday. So Tuesday Newsday, going to be like what you saw today. I'm going to take all of the weather modification news from around the world that I've found and break it down for you very quickly. And on Throwback Thursday, we'll do some weather modification history and talk about how the past is affecting the future, the present. In chat, concept object, if you can help program, I need help. Jim at climateviewer.com. Jim at climateviewer.com. Of course, all of this can be found, links in the details on connect.climateviewer.com. So if you need to get in touch with me, all of my social media are there. Plays in Dirt Ass About merch. My merch link is there. Just go to connect.climateviewer.com and you will see this right here. All 3 of my websites, climateviewer.com, weathermodificationhistory.com, ClimateViewer Maps, my Patreon, my PayPal. Support me monthly or give a one-time donation. Everything I do is free of charge. Merch shop here, videos on YouTube, Odyssey, BitChute, Rumble, Getter, Gab, Facebook, Twitter, Parler. I'm going to delete it because it's garbage and useless and nobody's really there anyway. And down here at the bottom, you can see my phone number. My email address is right here at the bottom. So if you're looking for that, just, come down here to the very bottom. In the bottom footer, you can see, my email address, my phone number, a link to my ExpressVPN affiliate. If you get a VPN through my link, you get 3 months free and you're helping out the channel. So, everything's on connect.climateviewer.com if you want to get in touch with me. But guys, I'm going to continue to try to, keep up this Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, at least till the end of the month. Because I need to make more time for working on the studio, and a bunch of other things that have come up. I did get my eye situation straight. I just got my new do shaved up, so I'm not looking so furry. And I appreciate everybody who says I look so beautiful in chat. I'm sure you're beautiful too. Pics or GTFO. But that being said, I appreciate everybody tuned in. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, what are you waiting for? This is the best way to support the channel, to beat the algorithm. If you're watching this after this went live, be sure to go and leave a comment. Comments are really screwed with the AI over at Google, and they get really confused. They're like, why's everybody talking about, this? So more comments, better for the channel. If you can't donate, that's the easiest way to donate. Just literally leave a comment. I don't care what it says. You can call me an idiot. You can say you love the video. Leave links. I love links. And also be sure to submit your links for the Tuesday Newsday updates, because I get a lot of my stuff from people similar to what we talked about on the Sunday chat. I didn't plan on, I was saving it for Tuesday Newsday, but I went ahead and talked about it because the Council on Foreign Relations talking about geoengineering. I got to get on that. So we talked about that, and then we had a caller call in, and we ended up talking way longer than I expected. Had a great conversation. So I hope that you guys will tune in on Sunday. Give me a call. Send your comments, your links and everything, jim@climateviewer.com, or connect with me on any of the social media. Just a warning, I don't really check any of those. I mean, honestly, I don't check my Facebook. I don't check my Twitter. I don't check my Gab. Mainly, I check my YouTube comments pretty regularly. I read every single one of them, and you'll know that I read it after you get a thumbs up on it, because there's only so much that I can do in a day. So that being said, I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Please share this video, because sharing is caring. Please study this information. You can find all of these articles on the internets, and use the information to attack ideas, not people. Because the idea of geoengineering or weather modification is idiotic when it needs to be stopped. So please attack that idea, but not the people. If you mean it. If video resonates with you, leave me a comment, because I love hearing from y'all. First time here, be sure to subscribe and click the bell. Yeah! Remember, it would be impossible for me to do this without your support, so please join my Patreon or buy me a coffee on PayPal. And always, attack ideas, not people.